Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into the engine that powers our always-on, real-time world, Apache Kafka. You know, it's this invisible force behind so much of what we do online, and in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what it is and why it's such a big deal.
Have you ever wondered how your bank can instantly flag a strange transaction, or how your ride-sharing app knows exactly where your driver is, second by second? Well, it all comes down to being able to process these massive, non-stop streams of data as it's happening.
Just think about it for a second. Thousands of credit card swipes happening every single second all over the world. A system has to sift through that flow in real time to catch a bad purchase before the damage is done. Or picture this, that constant river of location data from thousands of drivers and riders. All of that information has to be collected, processed, and sent back out instantly, just to make the whole thing work. And honestly, it goes even deeper than that. Companies are constantly analyzing everything: user clicks, application logs, sensor data, as it's created. They're trying to spot trends and fix problems on the fly. We're talking about a fire hose of data. So, the big question is, how on earth do you manage this constant, overwhelming flood of information? Well, that's exactly where Apache Kafka comes in. It was literally built to tame that data fire hose and make sense of the chaos. Okay, so the official definition calls Kafka a distributed streaming platform. Let's unpack that. Distributed just means it runs across a whole bunch of computers, which gives it incredible power and reliability. And streaming means it handles data as a continuous, endless flow, not in slow, clunky batches. You know, a really great way to think about Kafka is as the central nervous system for a company's data. If you imagine all that data as little nerve signals firing off, Kafka is the spinal cord. It's that main pathway that reliably and super quickly gets all those signals from where they start to where they need to end up. All right, so how does this central nervous system actually work? Let's take a look under the hood at the core components. It's actually pretty simple and logical once you see all the pieces laid out. So first up, we've got the producer. A producer is basically any application that creates data. It could be your phone sending a location update, a web server logging a click, or a factory sensor reporting the temperature. Its whole job is to package that data up into a message and send it into the Kafka system. But where does that message go? It lands in something called a topic. Just think of a topic as a category or a specific channel. So you might have a user clicks topic, a payments topic, or maybe a GPS locations topic. It's just a way of keeping all the different data streams nice and organized. Now, the topic itself is stored and managed by a broker. And a broker is really just a fancy name for a Kafka server. In the real world, you don't just have one of these, you have a whole group of them working together. That's called a cluster, to handle all the data and make sure nothing ever gets lost. And finally, we have the consumer. A consumer is any application that needs to actually do something with all this data. That fraud detection system we talked about, it would be a consumer, subscribing to the payments topic. A real-time dashboard would consume the user clicks topic. They just tune in to the channels they care about and get to work. So let's put it all together real quick. 1, a producer sends a message. 2, it gets sorted into a topic. 3, a broker stores it safely. And 4, a consumer reads it to do something useful. See? This creates this beautifully simple, decoupled system where the apps creating the data and the apps using the data never even have to know about each other. It's kind of magical. So that's the how. But why is Kafka so incredibly popular? Why do massive companies like Netflix, Uber, and LinkedIn all rely on it? Well, it really comes down to 3 core superpowers. Superpower number 1, massive scalability. A single topic can be split into many different partitions, and these partitions can be spread across lots of different servers. This means Kafka can handle a truly insane volume of messages because it can process them all at the same time, in parallel. It's built from the ground up to grow as your data grows. Second is fault tolerance. This is huge. Data in Kafka is never, ever stored in just one place. It's replicated or copied across multiple brokers in the cluster. So what happens if one server completely fails? No sweat. The data is totally safe on another machine, and the whole system just keeps on chugging along without skipping a beat. And to make that really concrete, a replication factor of 3 is pretty much the standard. That means every single piece of data you send to Kafka is immediately copied and stored on 3 different servers. That makes your data incredibly safe from things like hardware failure. And superpower number 3 is high throughput.
In other words, just raw speed. Kafka is blazing fast because of a simple trick. It writes data to the disk sequentially. Think about writing in a notebook. You just write on the next empty line. You don't jump all over the page. That's the absolute most efficient way for a computer to store information. And it lets Kafka handle millions of messages per second. And this really shows the massive advantage Kafka has over older systems. See, traditional messaging often created this tangled web of direct point-to-point connections. It was a mess, but Kafka's publish-subscribe model decouples everything. Producers just shout their data into the void. Consumers just listen for what they want, and Kafka handles all the complex routing in between. The whole system becomes simpler, faster, and way more flexible.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. We've gone through the theory, but where is Kafka actually making a difference out there in the real world?
The truth is, the applications are everywhere. It's used for log aggregation, basically vacuuming up activity data from hundreds of servers at once. It's used for real-time analytics, powering those live dashboards you see. It acts as the communication backbone for modern microservices. It's even used for streaming data from millions of IoT devices. I mean, if data is moving in real time, there's a really good chance Kafka's involved somewhere.
And that, in a nutshell, is Apache Kafka, a scalable, durable, and incredibly fast platform for data in motion. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Now that you know how it's possible to process these vast streams of information instantly, what kind of real-time problems do you think we can now solve? Thanks so much for watching.